Hey everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here in fabulous Las Vegas. I want to thank our friends over at Actable. Actable gives you the power to profit. Check them out at actable.com. I got my friend Mark Shalala right here, baby. SVP of Development, Upscale Brands with Choice Hotels. Great to see you, buddy.
Glenn, great to be here. I got to tell you, you are the glue that keeps this industry together. So
Thanks.
appreciate you having me.
That's pretty. It's pretty awesome of you to say. Thank you so much. So first, I want to apologize to you for what's coming next. Mark, it seems like you guys are ascending to the next level there, hitting that 400.
Yeah, Joe Bark.
Yeah, sorry. You know, I'm contractually obligated. I get in order to turn off as many viewers as possible.
Understood.
So 400 hotels.
Yes. 400 hotels. We are thrilled to hit this milestone.
Let me just pause you right there. I'm so sorry. They created this segment in 2009 and don't often get credit for that. So please continue.
Thank you, sir. We don't always get credit, but it's okay. We created a platform that turned into soft branding. And over the years, soft branding has evolved into a multi-tiered, full-fledged segment that everyone's kind of buying into. And I think the reason for that is it really is the intersection of guest preference and profitability for owners. What I mean by that is guests are looking for more experiential type stays, and that's not stopping, that's actually building. And developers are looking for ways to kind of put their thumbprint on the design of the hotels. We allow for that flexibility, but also, at least with us and our soft brands, we allow flexibility in the operating model, which is really important because coming in with a set food and beverage offering or a set of amenities is not going to work in every single market.
No, it also just doesn't make sense, regardless of if you're more of an independent-minded hotel or a pure branded hotel. Our tastes change. When you're in different locations, you want to eat different foods. It's just the reality.
Absolutely. We want to right-size those amenities and offerings to the market so it's profitable for the owner. And that's, with all the other cost pressures that owners are dealing with right now, that's absolutely.
Are there any cost pressures out there for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, this year is going to be all about finding ways in order to maximize profitability while lowering expenses. So things like this make a big deal. And for those of you who don't know, the whole idea of this soft brand category came together when they identified, I think it was the Chicago market, that they were losing so many room nights. And somebody came up with the idea that they could kind of tie everything together. And it's really created an opportunity for those owners to get a lot of benefit from the big system, but get to be themselves.
The story is, what's so great about the Ascend Collection is it came about so organically in a way to help owners. It was the 2008 credit crisis.
And this is why I remember it, because it was just such a great thing.
Yeah, and so there was a bunch of hotels, beautiful boutique independent hotels that started losing share because of the overall economics that were happening. And were coming to us and say, hey, how do we get access to your system?
Yeah.
At the time, it was like, well, you had to convert to look like a Comfort Inn or one of our brands. It didn't make sense.
Right.
These hotels are great as they are. So we said, what if we could create a platform that gives them access to our reservation, distribution, all our scale, the loyalty program, and quietly let them continue to be who they are because they're great. And look, it took off and it exploded into this.
It's ubiquitous now.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal thing for the industry. And it's I would say, next to extended stay, soft branding is probably driving the majority of the investment dollars happening over the last 3 years.
And I would say probably the only reason for that is so much investment dollars are going into new build extended stays and not into other new builds that might, you know, go in another.
Extended stay is pretty hot right now.
Super
hot.
But that's a conversation for another day, not today, because we're talking about Upscale Brands with Choice. But I do want to go back to that point where you said 2008, the credit crisis, all of that kind of stuff.
Sure.
We're in a situation now, an economic uncertainty. So how are you thinking about making sure that your Upscale Brands can stand that test that's coming?
Yeah, look, this business is cyclical. We've been around long enough to know.
But I always joke around that everyone forgets, and they think whatever the condition is today is just the way it always has been and always will be.
Absolutely. It's cyclical. We're always at Choice Hotels looking long-term. And so we're investing for the long term. There might be a swirl of uncertainty right now, but over the long haul, we know that conditions will improve. And even if you look at the life cycle of a deal, it might take a year to entitle and then a year or 2 years to renovate or new build. So by the time you're opening into a different market.
Yeah,
but there's some key economic factors like GDP growth, jobs, and monetary policy that we are tracking very closely that we feel pretty good about that are maybe leading to the economy being a little bit more stable than what you might be seeing on the nightly news.
Yep.
So just stay calm and stay the course, and that's what we're doing.
And I would say I had a lovely conversation with an owner of some of your hotels, and we were talking about development and whether he's going to stop. He goes, "No, I'm going to keep going because in 2 years from now, what I do today is going to look like I made a great deal
Right.
because things are going to be more expensive and more of this." I'm like, so you got to keep going out there. Remember, developers got to develop. Anything else that you want to add, Mark?
No, and look, just on this environment, the hotel developers are some of the most resilient and opportunistic people I know. They're going to keep going, and this industry is very healthy. So
That's right.
We're excited about it.
So, what you think you're doing out there, look at what some of the others are doing. Copy them. There were some huge winners in COVID, and if you study what some of those people did, now's the time to make great moves like that. I'm Glenn Haussman. That's Mark Shalala. Thanks to Actable. Like, share, subscribe this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.